Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday. In this video, I want to talk about the art of getting what you want by praising what you got. Now, hear me out. It sounds counterintuitive, but before we get into that, let me just say, hey, y'all. Hey, I'm Tinesha Davis. This is Fun and Budget, where we talk about things that have something to do with something. If these are going to have something to do with money, usually it's always going to tie back to money. Or something to do with the art of living your best life, especially when it comes to minding your money, right? When we talk about this topic, and I'm talking about this because I hear a lot, people ask me, or I even hear it in my real interactions with friends, how do you manifest the things that you are wanting? I think of myself as an expert manifester. I manifest pretty quickly, and I usually get everything that I want, right? Everything that I'm putting out there actually appears in the physical, in this reality, on this side of the verse, the universe, the multiverse, the verse, right? But what I also realize is sometimes it's not that any one of us are great or bad at manifesting, because we all manifest. Everything that we have is because we manifested it, wanted or unwanted. But what I find also is that sometimes we have areas that we are stronger in. If I break those areas down, there's love. So there are going to be some people who are always easily able to manifest a relationship, manifest something to be in. Okay, so there's that. There is career, there is money, there is relationships, like social relationships, social dynamics, and there is the world at large. Almost like social issues, social things. These are the things that drive us. And what I mean by that is sometimes it's easier for people to help others before themselves. Like if there was a social issue, if there was a crisis, there are people who are going to excel because they find that that's what they truly care about. They truly care about humanity as a whole. They truly care about their family, their friends, the world, right? So they're going to look for charitable contributions, places to donate their time, whether it's volunteering at church, whether it's volunteering at organizations, whether it's just volunteering in the lives of the people we know and love. Okay, so that's a motivation for some people. When I say career, sometimes the motivation is, I want this title, I want these degrees under my belt, I want this respect at work, I want to win these awards, get this recognition. When I say love, again, it goes back into family love relationships, like romantic love, having a family, bearing children, having that significant other, that sort of thing. So I'm just saying this to say that sometimes it's easier for somebody to manifest in one area versus another. For me, I always felt that it was easier for me to manifest when it comes to money. I don't even care about the job, the title. I care about the money that comes with that job and that title. That's what I care about. And so money has always come easy for me. So sometimes in my examples, that's why it's always going to be a little more money centric, money focused. Even though I'm now competently manifesting in other areas too. Y'all know I got the man. That was my hardest area to manifest in, love. But I now have that. So I say that to say that while I'm excellent at manifesting in the areas that I'm super comfortable in, such as money, I've also become proficient in manifesting in those areas that I wasn't always so competent in. And for me, that was the love. That was the place that was the hardest for me to manifest. Okay? So I say recognize that. Recognize what is your strong area. What area? Even if it's something I haven't listed, because we're talking through this off the top of my head on our way driving to work on a Saturday. So I want you to write down in the comments, if you must, what area do you think you're the strongest in creating and manifesting? And then what area do you think gets to be a place that you get to build your strength, you get to build your muscle? Tell us that in the comments. I gave you my 2 areas. What I found helpful for me is the art of praising what you have, praising where you're at. The reason why a lot of people don't do this is because A, they actually have genuine complaints, valid complaints in an area. So why give that praise, right? Like, I really don't like it here. I really don't like this job. I really can't stand my house. I really don't like somebody, my family or a friend or whatever it is, right? So they feel like they have valid complaints. And you probably do. But the problem with manifesting is whatever you give your attention to, that's what you're going to manifest more of. So if you give your attention to the complaints, you're going to get more of that. And it won't just be in that area. It will find a way to bleed out into other areas. And you will probably not even tie it back to the initial complaint because it could seem like they have nothing to do with each other. But the way the law of attraction works, it's all connected. It's all connected. Another reason why people may be a little more apprehensive about praising what they have is because they feel like they'll be confused in the universe. If I praise this, I might stay here. If I praise this house, God might think I'm okay with this house and that's all I will ever get, right? I'll be in this house. I don't want to be in this house. I want another house. But that's not the way the law of attraction works. The law of attraction works that it's always going to get better. The better it gets, the better it truly gets. So, in my life, I have always did praise songs around where I was. Whether it was a job, could a job be better? Of course, everything can always be better. But I always found the places that I appreciated in my current reality. My house. I was saying before this, I lived in a townhouse. Y'all seen the townhouse? It was that townhouse that I had to evict the tenant from. But when I lived in that townhouse, I praised that townhouse. I loved that townhouse. I never felt like, oh my goodness, I've outgrown this, I need to move. I never felt that way. I was so happy with it. I was so happy that I was able to afford it. I felt like I made it aesthetically pleasing for myself. It was furnished just the way I wanted it to be furnished. I was in close proximity to all of the social events I wanted to get to, whether it be in DC, Maryland, or Virginia. I love that I was in close proximity to friends. It was easy for my family to get there because there was a back way to get to my house that you could cut out a lot of the 395 corridor. So I really liked those things about where I lived. But y'all, because I praised it, it was just natural for the universe to open up a door for more. A door for more naturally, organically opened up for me. And that was in the area of, it took me 2-hour average just to get to work from where I lived. And then it took me a 2-hour average to get home. So that's 4 hours a day commuting. But I did not curse that commute. I did not. I found ways to make that commute work for me. So I want you to look at the area that you find challenging in your life. And I want you to write out a list of positive things about that challenge. Write out a list. If you want, write it in the comments. Say, this is the area that I am finding challenge with, but let me write my positives. So in my life, when I lived in that townhouse, the challenging area was the 4 hours a day it took getting to and from work. But my positives was this. Let me tell you. I think that was the time in my life where I kept in touch the most with my people. I talked to all of my friends and my family every day on the phone. My family felt like, and my friends felt like they knew more about my life then than ever, because we would have in-depth conversations, long conversations, meaningful conversations. Because once I got off the phone with another person, I still had time. Today I had time, so I was able to get a lot of social phone calls made. Then I was also able to take care of whatever calls I needed to make, whether I needed to call a company because of something. And you know how like a lot of times you call a company and you are going to be on hold and you ain't got time for that? Oh, I had time for that. I was in the car. I had time. So I was able to get a lot of those calls made and dealt with and handled. Also, I was able to listen to a lot of great podcasts, meaningful information that fed my soul, fed my spirit, fed my mind. I was able to do that. I was able to get a lot of audiobooks listened to. Some consider it reading. I don't know if I consider it reading just yet. But I was able to do all of those beautiful things in my beautiful time that I spent in my car going to and from work. It cost me about $800 a month on average putting gas in my car going to and from work. I even found the praise in that. The praise in that was, isn't it so wonderful that I'm able to afford to put fuel in my car? Isn't it so wonderful that I have a job and a livelihood that pays me well enough that I can afford to fuel my car? Now, mind you, I wasn't even making the money that I'm making now. But again, the better it gets, the better it gets. Then one day, a question popped in my mind. How would it be to live closer to work? I was not prepared for it. I didn't even have a path to do any of it. I just asked the question, and then I decided to start looking to see what's out there. And where my mindset was at the time, I started looking at apartments. I was like, maybe, because you know, they always said Virginia was more expensive to live in than Maryland. So I was like, well, maybe I can get an apartment. It's just me and my son. We just need 2 bedrooms. So I said this out loud to a co-worker friend at the time who was Gwen, and she was a real estate agent, and she said, well, let's just look and see what's out there. Y'all, that's how I ended up where I am now. It wasn't even from a place of I can't stand this, I have to. No, it was just a place of I love my life, I'm so happy with my life. What would it look like if we could make it a little more convenient? What would that look like? Then I had an open mind. Got to keep your mind open. I had an open mind because the physical me did not feel like I could afford to make a major move. The physical me wasn't even ready, girl. The physical me had a horrible credit score because I always forgot to pay things. This was before we were mindful of our money and our budget. I would just forget to make payments. So I was always late on stuff. The physical me had no money saved up like that. The physical me did not even know she was capable. But the me that was walking in spirit, that was walking in faith, that was walking by God, wasn't even attached to the outcome because, again, I was happy in my townhouse. I was at peace with my commute. So the physical me was just open to possibility. And the possibility was the universe opened up and made a way that I was able to buy the house that I am in now, and that the money that I needed, over $60,000 that I did not have saved, just started falling, literally, almost feeling like literally from the sky. Like suddenly people in organizations that owed me money, that I didn't even know they owed me money, discovered me, found me to give me money. I'm talking about tens of thousands of dollars. All within that span of time that it took me to buy a house. I was able to find 2 banks that, regardless of my low credit score, I guess because the product I was trying to buy was so much money that they could make money from, they found ways to compete with each other, so much so it drove down the interest rate on the house that I was buying as if I had good credit, y'all. My credit was in the 5s, in the 500s. So again, I found a way to praise and to give appreciation and to really find aspects that I loved and where I was currently. And that is what led me to more. And I want you guys to do that. I know I've had people in the comments saying, teach me how to make more money. That's what they could really use. And what I'm going to say to that is stop praising where you are. Stop praising the money that you have. Stop talking about and bragging about and just really picking up a bullhorn and shouting to the world about all of the beautiful things that the money you have now is able to do. What it's able to afford you. What it's able to get you. And then I want you to keep your mind and your ears open to possibility. Sometimes the possibility is going to feel like it's not even within your wheelhouse, that you're not even capable of it, that you're not even equipped to do it, but you are. You are. We are all human beings on this planet, and we all have the same access to the same pool of talents. And now, no, we're not talking about being a singer or a dancer. I mean, that really takes a true gift. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about talents. That the things that you need, God can equip you with to get the more that you're asking for, to get the more that you're looking for. But you must have an open mind, and you must have an open heart, and you must walk with an open spirit, and a spirit that does less complaining and more praising. Start practicing the art of praising what you have, all of the beauty that you have, and watch it bloom into more. Okay? I'm almost at work now. Yeah, it's a whole Saturday. And I'm even praising this, the fact that I have this flexibility to be able to go in on a weekend without anybody's approval and do what I need to do so that I can keep more of what I have. Okay? So I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for being here. Love y'all. And keep asking questions, and I will find a way to get you an answer. I will find a way. Okay? All right. Peace.